Welcome everyone. This is take 2 on my recommendations for Season 10 AL rules. So before I start, I should point out I have no affiliation with AL, so these are just suggestions. And I really do like the Season 9 rules. So if no change was made to Season 10, I'd be a happy camper. These are simply things I think would clean up the rules a little bit, make it a little more streamlined. Okay, so let's get started. Here's the summary of the rules. Oh, and I already did this video one time. Got a lot of spirited input on some of these items, and I made some changes to streamline some of them even further. I hope you like what you see here, especially if you give me some suggestions. Okay, so summary. Don't change gaining a level. I know that's not a change. I just want to reiterate how good Season 9 is for advancement. Bump the hourly GP award for Tier 2 to 50 gold. Set the hourly GP award no lower than the expected hours when those are known. Remove the GP limit per level cap. Replace legendary item unlocks with an increased magic item limit and a usable rarities requirement. Add something called seasonal items. Remove trading magic items, and if you hate that, I understand, but please consider voting up the items you do like here. I hope you like some of the other ones. Replace buying potions and scrolls with buying magic items, and add magic weapons and ammo to the list. Character recovery, make that paid by the party instead of the individual player or PC, and limit it to the maximum of the gold awarded in that session. Increase CCC rewards, allowing the magic item rarities to be the same as DDAL adventures. Allow Tier 4 CCC adventures. And finally, define the Season 9 to Season 10 conversion. That's consistent with these changes. Alright, so let's get started on the details. Gaining a level, don't change a thing. Season 9 is perfect. Thank you very much. I love Season 9. Monetary rewards. Bump the hourly GP reward for Tier 2 to 50 gold. That's the new table here. The gold's all the same except for Tier 2, slightly elevated. Set the hourly GP award no lower than expected hours when those are known. So if an AL adventure you're playing says it's a 2-hour or 4-hour or 6-hour adventure, make that the minimum gold for that adventure. For example, for DDAL 0905, using the bonus encounters, it says it'd be 6 hours. So 300 gold would be the minimum gold for that adventure, even if it was finished in 4 hours, so as not to penalize parties that are efficient. Remove the gold piece limit per level. And we'll talk about the design notes of that in here in a second. Okay, so this reduces paperwork. The no by level cap makes paperwork much easier. That's kind of a confusing mechanic, and I think we can do without it. And another thing, sometimes players will be like, 1 hour away from the maximum gold they can have, and they'll be stuck playing a 4-hour adventure in which they only get 1 hour's worth of gold. So this is good for that. So I don't think the gold per hour is too large so that we have to worry about players who play, multiple sessions at the same level. Another good thing to add, I think, to the player's guide would be some in-game explanations, because it often breaks for similitude for some players that, hey, we found 1,000 gold, but we only get 200. What happened to all the other gold? Yeah, you found it, and it was used for things other than adventuring, for your homes, your castles, your lands, your livestock, your extravagant living, etc. Or maybe it was taxed or stolen or lost or gambled away or invested poorly or given to the poor or used to help your friends and your family, etc. Gold quantities comparison. So Season 10, just slightly higher than Season 9. And it's the same at Tier 1, slightly higher at Tier 2. By the end of Tier 2, it's about 1.5 times what Season 9 gave. And then it comes back into the fold at Tiers 3 and Tiers 4 because it's just kind of overwhelmed by the avalanche of gold that come at those tiers. Magic items. So right now we have these legendary items unlocks. Let's replace those, just get rid of that, with a slightly higher item limit and a limitation on what rarities are usable. So right now PCs can use any magic items except for legendary, and then they can gain legendary use at Tier 4. I suggest we could also add they need to be a Tier 2 to use rare and Tier 3 to use very rare. And I suggest the magic item limits at Tier 1, 2, and 3 all increase by 1 so they can carry a magic item they can't use and not feel bad about it. Although that'll, I'm sure, fill up with magic items they can use. These requirements, of course, don't apply to store items, just like in Season 9. And a PC can take as treasure unknown items they cannot use yet. So if they found in Tier 1 a legendary item, they can keep it. It's one of their magic items that counts towards their limit. And they can't use it until they get to Tier 4. All right, clarify distribution of non-permanent items and include common permanent items in that distribution. So common items kind of fall into this middle ground where everyone can take them, but they don't count towards their limit. So when you find a common magic item, it's like you found 6 common magic items, so there are 6 of you playing. And real easy to fix that just by making them split up like the non-permanent items are split up. All right, seasonal item. This is an alternate suggestion to the way seasonality is handled now. So if we didn't want the details of seasonality, the very simple thing you could do is say, okay, you can have one item that doesn't count towards your limit, in addition to the fact that your store item doesn't count. And that one item has to be an item that is from that season, of a character who has that season as an origin, and played during that season. So it encourages players to play the current season adventures. And a PC can replace a seasonal item with a new seasonal item at any time. But again, that's only going to be available during the season that that character's season origin is from, using adventures of that season. So it'll promote the seasonality that we want in Adventurers League. Lastly, clarify that boons that replicate the effects of magic items, such as a boon of blessing, count as the appropriate magic item. Okay, that's it for the magic item changes. What's this do? Well, it simplifies the legendary reservations. PCs can keep any items, they just can't use more powerful ones until they hit higher levels. So, reducing paperwork, no unlock list to maintain. This also helps the administrators because it allows the use of all adventures without worrying about overpowered items being included. So the fact that a player can't use a very rare item tier 3 means that if a very rare appears at tier 1, no big deal for the admins. They don't have to write a entry into the campaign catalog that says something about that item. So that helps that. And then this is the seasonal item, a simple way to reward seasonality. So this can be kind of just taken and left as desired by the admins. Clarify common magic items and boons. There's a couple rules for that. And then more in-game explanations. So this could be a nice sidebar in the player's guide. So what happens to these items that I'm just throwing away and I'm getting a new item? That doesn't make sense. That's not real. Oh, well, you can say that they were traded, they were taxed, they were donated, they were stolen, they were broken, used up, returned to the owner, etc. And why can't I use the high rarity items? Like I can't use the legendary at tier 3, why not? Well, it just hasn't revealed its powers to you yet, you're incapable of harnessing the magic to use the item, or it's overwhelming and debilitating to the PC, etc. So just nice in-game explanations that can help the verisimilitude for some of these rules that, make shared campaigns a little bit more manageable. All right, now the controversial one. Trading magic items, I say remove this option. That's definitely super controversial, and many players would not like it. But ask you, consider if you'd be okay without it. I'm definitely okay without it, and I think it's got some good things to go with it. Also, if you don't like it, please let me know, though, if you do like any of the other suggestions. So what's this do? Well, more reduction in paperwork, no trading to keep track of. It makes the playing field level for PCs of both casual and prolific players. So if I show up to a convention and I have a 10th level character, and I have a stable of 20 other characters and tons of DM rewards, my 10th level character is going to be outfitted to the teeth compared to someone who has only one 10th level character. And that's just not fair. Both our 10th level characters have done the same things, have the same experience, they should be outfitted the same. And I am certainly okay with that. I hope everyone else will be too. Inter-PC trading, it's not needed really as a mechanism to get rid of undesirable items. That was one of the main benefits of it, was get rid of these things you don't use anymore. But that's taken care of now. Inter-PC trading is just a little too powerful in combination with the ability to discard and replace items. And lastly, it's kind of led to an arms race, and there's a big disparity in power levels, between the optimizing prolific players and the casual players for the same level characters. All right, so let's move on to buying potions and scrolls. I'd say replace that with buying magic items and add a couple things to the list. +1 weapons, +1 ammo. Just adds another good way to get magic weapons that PCs so desperately need in their adventuring careers. Character disease, death, and recovery. So replace the last sentence in that section and the 2 bullets at the end of that section with this. If a group can't return a character to life or cure conditions that remove it from play during the session, the following rules apply. You just total up all the spellcasting expenses necessary to return a character and let them adventure. You divide that by the number of characters who started the adventure, and then you reduce the gold reward for that adventure by that amount to a minimum of 0 gold. And all characters are considered returned to life and cured of all conditions that remove them from play once that is done. So what's this do? Well, it encourages teamwork. If you have someone go down, you're going to make sure they don't stay down. It reduces paperwork. There's no need to track magic item count, losses, etc. It's going to increase the first-time player return rate. If a player has a PC die and the table just abandons them, they're not going to feel very good about that. Their adventuring will be for naught. They'll have to, start over the next adventure with a new character. And so that's no fun. And the penalty is shared by all, and it's not very severe. It won't hamper them by the more than just one adventure's worth of gold. It's the worst it'll do to them. And I should point out that I've DM'd a lot of adventures, and rarely have I seen a PC die due to being dumb, which is a thing I hear a lot of times, but I haven't seen very often. Most often, when I see PCs die, it's due to sheer bad luck, or a combination of bad luck and the party neglecting them and letting them bleed out. So I'd just like to see us band together and support the characters. Now, we could have a sidebar also, because some of us is playing evil characters, and I wouldn't do that. And the sidebar there could be, well, you didn't really spend the gold, but because of your loss in reputation, because no one wants to adventure with someone who won't support their party, you had less opportunities for getting gold, and therefore that's where the time and the gold went. But the simple mechanic of the gold is what's used for the Adventure League. That's it. That's character disease, death, and recovery. Encourage teamwork, make new players feel welcome, and make sure no one feels like they're being abandoned by the party. Adventure design. Oh, and plus, it's a lot simpler. Reduces paperwork of the current system we have. Adventure design. Increase the CCC magic item rarities to be on par with DDL adventures and allow tier 4 CCC adventures. So CCCs used to have comparable magic items to DDLs, but at some point recently they were reduced a little bit, such like a tier 3 only has rares, a tier 2 only has uncommons, and that's just not fair. I don't feel, I don't write CCs, so it doesn't really impact me too much, but it doesn't feel fair to the people who spend their time writing those CCCs. I'd like to encourage those people. The adventure should be about fun combat, exploration, social interaction. They should stand out based on that criteria alone. None of them should be, incentivized by overpowered magic or hampered by underpowered magic. All right, last but not least, Season 9 to Season 10 conversion. So it's super simple for 9 to 10. Levels unchanged. Convert one banked legendary item, if any, to a possessed magic item. Done. That's it. Step 3, profit. So that's conversions, very simple, and that's it. That's my suggestions so far for Season 10. I hope you like some of them. I hope you like all of them. Thank you for reading, and I look forward to many more great years of AL ahead of us. If you like these, please let the leaders of AL know, and check back often because I'm always updating these recommendations as well. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending your time, and let's look forward to more fun AL. I see we just saw the announcement of the D&D Live on June 18 to 20, where we get to find out about Season 10 and the next hardback, so I'm looking forward to that. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you later.